When we started this ministry, it was simply for the sake of loving people. We were not trying to get people to show up for worship on Sunday morning. And I was completely surprised when on the Christmas Sunday of this past year, I'm out front shaking hands and greeting people as they come through the door. And this new guy I'd never met before came in, a huge, broad-shouldered guy, 6'5" at least, a huge dude, comes through the front door and introduces himself to me. And I ask my usual question, how'd you hear about Trinity Family?
He told Donnie when he came in that the way he knew about church was because your wife brings gifts to the clubs.
He said, over the last 2 years, I've expected you to become like all the other crazy Christians I know, to start preaching at us and judging us, throwing the Bible at us, but you've never done it. And over these past 2 years, I've come to believe that you guys are the real deal, that you really believe this stuff and you really love us. And he told me later that he had never been in church in his life before he showed up for worship on that Christmas Sunday morning. And he told me, he said, I don't understand it, but I'm feeling irresistibly drawn to your church, and I want to learn more about the God that would prompt you to love us this way.
I believe that if people would just look up every day where they are, they would see that people need Jesus. It doesn't matter what their profession is. It doesn't matter how they live. They need Jesus, and they need someone to show them who Jesus is. Not just tell them, but show them. And so I believe as our church has grown because of this ministry, we have seen that you have to think outside the box. You can't just say, come to church with me on Sunday. You have to try and take what you've learned about who Jesus is and be that person to those people.
Love Wins has become the defining ministry of our church. I even know of a guy who told me that someone asked him, what's your church like? And he said, I'm a part of a church that once a month shows up bringing gift bags to strippers, simply loving them. Love Wins has defined the type of church that we are, the type of atmosphere we have within our church, both in the sense that people who don't feel welcome at other churches feel welcome at Trinity Family, and people that have a different perspective on what church is about don't feel welcome at Trinity Family because of the type of atmosphere that Love Wins creates.
I think people who don't have a church home need the followers of Christ to come to them. There's a lot that people don't know about who Jesus is because people sit in churches on Sundays and don't take the time to look up around them and see who in their life needs Jesus. And Love Wins has helped a few people so far who didn't know who Jesus was to understand that he is different than they thought he was.